James Legoski, author of the Journey Poetry Series. I want to start doing these little series of videos for you guys to, I'll read poems and describe the story behind some of these words in these poems I've written. But I thought the best place we should start with these videos is telling you guys what the journey is, or why it is I call all these poems the journey. The best thing I can use for a description, I guess, is at my friend's funeral. This was after Bill committed suicide in November of 1993, and I had written a little something to read at his funeral. When the time came and I stepped up to that podium, I froze. I was looking out at the faces out in front of me. There was maybe 20 people there. I didn't even recognize 5 or 6 of them. They must have been his wife's friends. As I stood there, I became very emotional, and then I asked myself, is this what life is all about? A small handful of people? Bill had no children, or I didn't know what it was I was supposed to say that would give this person that I loved like a brother, his life, some type of a purpose or a reason. I just felt like it was so important to say something that made Bill's life matter. And as I stood there longer, which seemed forever to me, I'm sure it was only seconds, I ended up asking God to help me. What was it that made Bill's life have a reason or some sort of a purpose? And as soon as I asked that question, I heard this voice, as plain as day, say, because he was your friend. The amazing thing here was that it wasn't just about what I heard. It was this feeling that lasted for just a few seconds. I can't describe it. It was something like it, beyond anything I'd ever felt in my life. As soon as I heard that, I had this instant calming moment. And then I read what I had wrote on the paper. Afterwards, as I was standing by myself and just rewinding everything that had just happened, what was that voice? What was that feeling? And I think it was at that moment that I made a promise. I made 2 of them. And the first one was to Bill, that I promised him I would continue to tell his story. I would tell people about my friend Bill. I'd find some way to do that. And I promised him that I wouldn't let his memory die on that day. I've been telling Bill's story now for well over 25 years. And I'll keep that promise that I made that day. I'm going to tell you more about how much reason and purpose Bill's life grew through these poems that I've shared over the years and telling his story. But we'll talk about that in another video. I want to tell you that I said I made 2 promises that day. The second promise I made to God, because I knew, I'm getting the chills just telling you this, I knew that's where the voice came from that I heard. In my mind, when I was trying to reason everything, it was the only answer I could come up with, because remember when I say it wasn't just that the answer was perfect for what I needed to hear. It said it all. It was the right answer. But the feeling, that feeling was very special. I'm trying to find a word. There probably isn't one. But from that day on, I've made a promise to God that if I ever heard that voice, or I felt that feeling again, I would not deny that it was him. And I've kept that promise over the years too. I want to thank you all for every one of you who's been reading these poems for the longest time. Some of you have been my fans for over 18 years now, since I started sharing them on the internet. You've been with me for a long way. Thank you all. God bless you all. I'm going to make more of these videos describing some of the stories, and like I said, I'm going to read some poems for you. I hope you enjoy these videos, and let me know by your thoughts or comments. If it's on YouTube, the like button. I can't wait to tell you this story. It's a cool story. Welcome to the journey. God bless you all, and thank you for listening.